And we're going to be given a standard form of a quadratic equation. And our job here is going to be to find the vertex. Okay, something like that. Okay, what is the vertex? All right, so what I'm going to do is write vertex. Kind of set up a little template here. We know from quadratic formula that A is 1 and B is 8. Going to find out C you'll not need here. Now with quadratic formula, you were taught to make sure that's a 0 here. It's not going to be a 0, it's going to be a Y. Just a little FYI. The formula for the x coordinate of the vertex is negative B divided by 2A. There's reasons from that comes from deriving the quadratic formula, but as it is, we're going to plug 8 where B is and 1 where A is. You'll find that to be negative 4. Pretty simple math. So negative 4 goes here. To find the y coordinate, you simply put negative 4 back here and here and evaluate. With negatives, put parentheses. Okay, you could go to Desmos or a calculator and probably do this all in one go, but I'm going to show some work. Negative 4 squared, by the way, make sure it's in parentheses. If you don't, it's going to say negative 16, which is wrong. It's positive 16. 8 times 4 is negative 32. Okay, negative 16 minus 32 is negative 16 minus 7 is negative 23. Okay, so again, I found that by plugging what I got from the x in here and here and working it out. Show you a couple things on Desmos here. This is my answer, by the way. Whatever I got here goes in the y position. That's my vertex. Let's go to Desmos. I'm going to show you several things on Desmos. Probably won't have Desmos available to you when it's a quiz for this. But to make some extensions, let me just show you. I just calculated this, but just to show you that Desmos will make these calculations. There's negative 23. I'm to graph this. You don't have to do that. I just want to show you that it works on Desmos. If I graph it, it looks like this. The vertex, you can tell the vertex is down here somewhere. I'll show you that in just a minute. Actually, let's go and drag down there, right in this area. Okay, we said that it was just to show you negative 4, negative 23. So let's go back to that. Negative 4, negative 4, negative 23. So you can see that blue dot is in fact the vertex. And so Desmos can be used to check, and this also kind of reminds you of what you're doing here. You're finding the bottom of the graph, or in some cases the top of the graph, based on a formula. So looking at the second example, we'll go a little harder this time. Let's say that we have y equals negative 2x squared minus 5x, we'll say plus 5x, plus 3. Okay, so A is negative 2. A is negative 2, and B is 5. Okay, so what's my vertex? All right, so we know x is negative B divided by 2 times A. So in this case, that's going to be negative with a 5 in the B position and a negative 2 in the A position. So I put 5 where B is, put negative 2 where A is. The negatives will cancel, or let's just do it this way. So it's negative 5. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Now the negatives will cancel. Okay, so we got a vertex of 5 fourths. I don't know what class you're in necessarily or how much they want you to do arithmetic. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the fractional arithmetic here. Don't get overwhelmed by this if you have access to a calculator at all times. But if you're in a more advanced class, that you may be required to do these calculations without a calculator. So let's do them. So -2 times 5/4 squared plus 5 times 5/4 plus 3. Okay, so those 5/4 go in for each of those x's. Okay, to compute this, to square a fraction, it's just top times top, bottom times bottom. So it's 25/16. I'll multiply in a minute. All right. Now for the next line, this 2 and 16, that'll reduce to 1/8. I'm going to go ahead and call that -25/8. Because again, 2 and 16 will make 8. All right, this is 5/1 times 5/4. That's 25/4. Okay. A lot of times in, say, like an AP calculus class, as an example, they're going to expect that you're able to add these fractions without the aid of a calculator. And what you want to do frequently is get the LCD. So the LCD here would be 8, okay, which is going to require me to double this denominator. So if I double the top, 25 times 2 is some easy math. That's 50. And to get a denominator of 8 on something that's the value 3, 3 times 8 will be 24. Okay, so we have that same denominator on all three. Now we'll just add across the top. -25 plus 50 is +25. +25 plus 24 is 49. Okay, so we get the y coordinate of 49/8. Of course, slow that down and pause if you need to. But 49/8 would go in the y position. Okay, now if you're in a different class and you don't have to do all that, just to show you, Desmos would have done. We'll just type this line into Desmos just to demonstrate. I always hate to just say let the machine do it for you, but in some instances you're expected to be fluent on these machines, and sometimes there's bigger concepts to worry about than having to add fractions. But just to show you, and they're reporting a decimal here of 6.125, but that is equivalent to 49 divided by 8. Same thing, 6.125. Desmos is putting it in decimal form. There may be a function there we can change it. I can't remember if there is or not with Desmos. But anyway, as it is, I'm going to graph it. Check my time real quick. I got a little time here. So I'm going to go ahead and graph it. Y equals -2x squared plus 5x plus 3. Remember, negative a, you're going to be upside down like that. We'll drag it right here, and I'll type in what I found to be the vertex, 5/4 and 49/8. So there you go. It hits perfect. So that's how you find a vertex if you're written in standard form.